All right, guys, check it out. We got the famous action figure personality, as it says on YouTube, Tucker Art, aka Rob, probably has the biggest collection in Vegas. How do you feel about that, man?
Okay, first off, I didn't put that famous bullshit on there. I didn't even know that shit was on there.
You didn't even know your own
So
intro
thanks for
said that.
starting this off by making me look instantly like a dick. So we'll just start right there with that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I have to
Either
give you
way,
a proper introduction, man.
some dude goes, "Hey, let me make you an inch you." His name's on the end of it, which I think his name's Dan or something. And then he goes, "I made you an intro," and I go, "All right, I'll tag it on there." And I never, I really don't ever watch my videos. I just kind of shoot and stick them
Yeah.
all together and upload them and wait for the shitty comments to come through.
Do you
So
really get a lot of shitty comments? Though I feel like a lot of people
I
like you, bro.
I don't actually. I actually get a lot of love on YouTube.
Yeah,
So I was actually surprised. So whatever, the comments are actually really good. I get a lot of feedback. It just like when I stopped doing YouTube for a minute when I was working out of town a lot, everybody would send me messages and shit like, "Bro, where you at? These
yeah,
other
yeah.
these
I
other
feel it.
YouTubers are sellouts. They're whacked and everything," which I like the majority of them. So
Yeah, yeah,
it and then you just hear what they think about my fellow YouTuber collectors, and I'm like, man, I actually thought that dude was pretty cool. And then like they'll hash it up. I know. I've talked a lot of shit about other YouTubers and toy dudes, but just poking fun. That
yeah,
seems like a lot of people are really sensitive in the action figure community. Like I offend a lot of people. Like I'll if I because I used to call out a lot of the other YouTubers on my channel a lot, and then now
hmm
that I'm friends with some of them, which like I try not to bring their names up anymore because it's just I don't know. They're like, stop using my name, or like I offend them without realizing that I'm even offending them. So I try to be quiet, which I do like a lot of them, but just it seems like a lot of them are really sensitive half the time, and it's really easy to piss people off. It's like when you're texting your old lady when you're in a fight, and you didn't even know that you were in a fight. And if you would have just called her and talked to her for 30 seconds, you'd realize that you weren't in a fight, but you spent like the past 2 hours on some bullshit text fight when you didn't even realize you were fighting. Just because it got translated weird through text. I
yeah.
think
I
it's kind of the
understand.
same thing when I do some of these stupid videos and I start talking shit about you guys and you guys
Yeah,
get offended by it, or not you personally, but I know I've pissed off a lot of other people in the community, which I'm totally cool with that. Like I only see you guys in Comic Con anyway. So
yeah.
speaking
True,
of Comic Con, have you? When do you go? I don't think I've ever seen you there. Do you go to
dude.
Comic Con?
I'm not a famous action figure personality, bro. I don't get invited to these
Oh,
things. Like they don't want me
oh,
there,
okay.
dude.
I, I've been going there since they've been going there, so you don't have
Yeah,
to get invited. You could at one time you could just drive down there and go up to the front door and pay $20 to go for the show for the
yeah,
day. I got hooked on going, so I just kept going. But then after that, I applied for a free pass, and then that worked out, and there you go.
yeah, man. That's really cool. Like, I'm glad you bring that up because, like, you get to talk shit, but you had to meet a lot of these dudes because you go to all the cons. So it's kind of like you don't know how
Right,
the other person's gonna like react or whatever.
right.
Like you say, you're just kind of poking fun or like because a lot of them it does feel like they're sellouts. Like they just want to buy everything Marvel and they think everything is great, nothing's wrong with a figure. But at the end of the day, like they call themselves reviewers and they're not really giving it an honest review.
I couldn't agree more. But
A lot of times they literally open the thing and like 2 minutes later they already have a review. It's like, come on, like spend
yeah,
some time with it.
it,
Like
and everything's amazing.
yeah,
You
everything's
know,
incredible. Yeah,
I don't know. They'll knock like an ankle rocker or something that nobody really gives a shit about because they don't want to. I don't know. Like I'm there. Like I go to Comic Con. I've been to like almost every Comic Con in history. I've been to a couple toy fairs, and I mean, not to talk shit about these guys, but you know what? Why not? Fuck it. you just see like when I go up to Toy Biz, it's just me busting their balls for 5 days. Like
Yeah.
I think Dwight hates me, like because I would talk to Jesse Falcon every
Yeah.
year for 20 something years, and then he kind of graduated above it, and now
Yeah.
Dwight is the new guy.
Now
And
Dwight has to
I
deal with you now.
yeah, so no, Dwight has to deal with me, and then so I had to suck Jesse Falcon's dick to try to get a pass into Hasbro at a toy fair because getting into toy fair is already not easy, and the
Yeah,
getting into
true.
Hasbro at toy fair is extremely difficult. So Jesse made the mistake of giving me his cell number one day, so I
Oh
hit him
damn, you
up
have
and
his number?
I'm like, damn, bro, I'm trying to get in that toy fair, that Hasbro thing. And then he just straight called me out. He goes, well, don't you bust Dwight's balls all the time? And I'm like, yeah, of course I do. Like I've been busting your balls for 20 something years, and Jesse's like totally cool with it. I
Yeah.
bust Dwight's balls and he gets offended by it. So like if you're not going there and if you're not gonna suck Dwight's dick and the whole Hasbro crew's dick, like you're
Yeah.
not getting interviews and you're not like you definitely got to play by their rules. So like I'm friends with Toyshiz and just somebody you should probably have on here. He's one of my favorites. People were hitting him up and they were
Yeah.
saying, because he interviewed the Hasbro team and they're like, well, we'd like to see Tucker interview the Hasbro team. And
Mm-hmm.
so I dropped Jesse a text and I'm like, hey, Jesse, I go, people want me to interview you. What do you think? You want to do it? And then he didn't want to do it without Dwight. I think he doesn't want to step on Dwight's toes. And then he goes, well, I'll hit up Dwight. And then if Dwight wants to do it, we'll hit you up. So Dwight doesn't like me. So of course he's not. And to
Yeah.
interview them, you gotta give them all your questions in advance. You can't like, it's like they think that you're like interviewing Joe Biden or some shit. It's just
Yeah, yeah.
like bro, I just want to talk about toys and shit because I like a lot of things that they do, but then I also hate a lot of things that they do. Just all their secretism about action figures, I think is just ridiculous. Like they act like they're like Russian spies, but just exchanging secrets. Like bro, we're just trying to figure out who you're gonna make in the next 6 months. Like
Yeah, yeah.
we're not trying to like you guys literally changed the stock market of action figures because with the Marvel Legends, like you'll have this old shitty Toy Biz figure that's worth $300, and you're like, oh sweet, this is cool. Like I need this figure to complete this team, and then they'll remake the figure, and now your $300 action figure just went down to $5, and
Yeah.
it's like, so when I see that, I'm like, I know Jesse's been collecting action figures forever, but then I see Dwight and no, I don't know who calls the shots of what figures they make, but it's like, is he making figures that he doesn't have in his collection for he doesn't have to spend $300 on eBay? Like it just like to have that much control of who makes what figures. I don't really give a shit either way. Like I'm gonna buy their crap no matter what. Like
Yeah, yeah.
even if it's shitty, I'm gonna buy Marvel Legends. Like anyway, enough about me rambling my mouth. What about you? How far do you live from Frankensons?
I live about 40 minutes from there.
How
It's not
often
that
do you
far.
go?
I mean, I could literally go all the time, but frankincense is not really the same no more. But hold on, before we jump onto that, I was gonna ask you if you were to get interviewed by Dwight or like any of the Marvel Legends teams. I forget the other guys' names, but they go on there with Dwight usually. What would you
Yeah,
ask them? Like generally, what questions? What's like the main three questions you have for them?
main
Like if you
main
get
the biggest question would be character selection. Like, where the fuck
guys,
do you guys come up with the character selection? Because
yeah,
I think the character selection is like the shittiest part of Marvel Legends. Like, I've been collecting Marvel Legends since all the like I got all the 5 inch shit. Like I've been collecting since day one. Like
yeah,
so on the 6 inch stuff, like why can't you complete the Inhumans team? Like I get if they're not that popular, but you make a shit ton of characters that are not that popular.
yeah,
Like so why can't you complete that team? Like do you guys personally not like the Inhumans?
yeah,
Like look how long we had to wait for Alpha Flight and then they start like the Reavers and then Like, are we ever going to get a Pretty Boy? Are we ever going to get the whole Reaver team? Like, I don't understand their collection. I don't understand why they have to make us wait 10 years to complete a team. Like,
True, true.
so character selection would be my number one question.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot of
And
people
then,
ask them that too.
yeah.
But
And they
they
always
just
give you
always
some
like put it. Yeah, yeah. They kind of
bullshit
throw it off.
shit
Like,
answer. Like, oh, well, this, like, well, that sucks. Like, I
yeah,
understand whenever they do like a fan choice, it seems like to me the fans always choose an old shitty Toy Biz figure, which I get it because they don't want to spend the money on it. But it's like I don't understand when everybody does that and they're like, oh, let's get a new Electra, which that's great. We need a new Electra. But wouldn't you rather have like a new character, like a brand new character that we've never had? Like, wouldn't you like to finally get a Lockjaw in your collection? Like, or a Crystal, or just somebody in the Inhumans, like just
yeah.
somebody
True.
like that.
I feel
Biggest
like the
collection
reason.
is
Yeah,
go
sorry
ahead.
to interrupt you, but I feel like the biggest reason why they redo like a lot of the old Toy Biz figures is not because they're selling a lot for a lot on the aftermarket, because they try to make them better. Like they want better versions, because the Toy Biz ones are, some of them are kind of outdated. They have the ball joints and all that. They don't look proportionately correct. So I think that's why. And also it helps because like people could now get a way better one for cheaper. So it kind of helps them. But yeah, the
I,
character
I
selection
I agree
team.
with that too.
Yeah, what you
I
said, like some
also,
characters need an upgrade.
I mean, a lot of them need an upgrade, but
Yeah,
would if you're an old collector, would you like would you rather have an upgrade or would you have a new character that you've never had in your collection? I would
yeah,
rather
that's the
have a
other point.
shitty version of the toy than no version of the toy. Like,
Exactly, exactly.
please redo everything, but
Hmm.
redo it after
You
we get
complete.
new collectors. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, it makes
but
sense. That makes sense.
it kind of seems like to me like, which I'm sure I'm completely wrong on all this. Like Jesse did all of the Toy Biz shit, and
Yeah,
then now that Dwight is in charge of it, he's kind of like, I think he's kind of calling the shots, and I think it's kind of like, well, he wants his version of it now, like, which in the old days, like everything was like almost like an original sculpt and pretty good paint jobs. I mean, granted, they're dated and they look like shit now with the big bald
yeah.
shoulders and I understand they look like shit,
Hmm.
but the new ones they're basically all just a bunch of repaints off the same
Re.
five
Yeah,
models,
exactly.
and
Yeah,
then
that's
now
why I
they
get
got
mad,
this.
because it's just a bunch of
Yeah,
reuse shit. You know.
I was like, here we go, the same fucking figure. I already have like 75 of this figure, but now you like put some. They got rubber cuffs that you can slip on them, and like rubber
Yeah,
cuffs around the boots, and so now you just
yeah.
turn Captain America into Cyclops, like which
That's what
which I'm
they just did
totally
with.
cool with it
That's what
because
they just did with the Build a Figures too. Like this is just a rubber overlay, and they just keep
yeah,
reusing this body. They used it for the new Shang Chi Build a Figure, the Mister Hyde.
yeah,
But it's technically this same figure, just with the new overlay of rubber right here and a new head
yeah. I
sculpt
just
and
put
stuff.
that hide together,
Yeah,
like
I want that
I
one. Looks cool.
but I don't mind that. Like that's like enough new shit to where it's like, okay, this is pretty cool.
Feels
I
a
don't
little
even
different,
mind when
right?
they, yeah, I don't even mind when they redo it. Like, cause a lot of this shit basically they're just guys in spandex with you just paint a different costume on them and a new head,
Yeah.
and it actually works. So basically, is the character selection. I think it just really sucks.
Yeah.
Secondly, which I've asked them this, like I take 100% credit for the pinless technology that they're calling it, which is just action figures without pins.
Yeah.
I tracked Dwight down at the Mattel booth like 6 years ago when Mattel was making their action figures pinless like 6 years ago. And
Yeah.
I go, Dwight, I go, is there a reason why you can't do this? Like you got shitty ass Mattel over here doing action figures with no pins. I go, why can't you do it? And then like I think that's when he got mad and said, told Daddy that I was busting his balls. And and plus, I would just always bust his balls about because everybody just lines up to suck this dude's dick at Comic
Yeah.
Con.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. Like there's
Yeah.
literally a line to talk to this guy, and
And yeah, grown
everyone is
men.
yeah, just grown men, and they
Yeah.
cannot get his balls down in their mouth quick enough. And you're like, are
Yeah.
you guys? And then when I talk to him, I usually just interrupt somebody's interview and just blow him up and just completely ruin his day.
They already have like they have
And
you
then
like on a wanted poster, like watch out for
yeah,
this guy at the con. Like,
it's
oh,
like, look at this dude. Are you fucking kidding me? He's coming back again. So
Yeah,
when Jesse hooked me up with a toy fair pass, I was on my best behavior. I just said,
yeah,
I was like every other ass kissing YouTube channel there. I just went up to Dwight, told him that his shit looks amazing and he's doing a great job. And I
yeah, yeah.
sounded just like everybody else there. I mean, there
It
was a
sounded
day when
like
everybody would complain that they wanted female figures with double jointed elbows, but now we're getting that, so they can't complain about that anymore. But
yeah.
because I think I busted his ball so hard on the pinless action figures, I take full credit for that. Like that,
Hey,
you guys can all thank
I
me
give
for
you
that.
credit for that, bro. Because no other YouTuber, like when they would review, I've never seen nobody complain about the pins. I even complained
No,
about the pins when my channel was small because I hate when
right?
the colors on the colors on the pin don't even match the colors on the figure.
Like
That shit bothers
Spider-Man's
me a lot,
arms.
dude. Yeah, dude, it bothers me, and I would always mention that. But I
Yeah,
remember I would get hate, dude, like in the comments, and my channel was small. It
right.
still is small, but they would always be like, "No, it's the best Spider-Man we're talking about. It has more articulation, and all this crap." And I'm just like, "Yeah, but the pins look like shit, and they don't even paint them the right color."
Yeah, I think I filtered through all the hate because I would get hate, and then with my hate, like I don't care how many subs I have, I don't care how many likes I get. Like I'm not starting a Patreon account.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make money off of YouTube. Like I got a
Mhm.
pretty good job, so I'm good with that. So when I would get the negative comments, like I would just basically tell them to suck my dick. Maybe try out Pixel Dan's channel. Maybe Shart's a good choice for you. Or maybe Pixel Dan. Like
You know
there's
what's
a lot of
crazy too? Like
YouTubers out there.
all those guys get figures for free, dude. Like Pixel Dan, in every
Right,
single one of his video, he gives someone a shout out, bro. Like they send him every figure for free,
right.
whether it's just viewers or Mattel, because
Yeah,
he's mostly Masters of the Universe. So they send him everything. Now he has like a book and stuff, and people are buying the book. So this dude's just he wastes no money and he just keeps racking it up. You know, it's crazy.
yeah. I don't really follow him too much, but I mean I do see him at all the toy shows, and I always thought that I always thought he was like the Mister Rogers of the YouTube action figure family. Like it just seemed that he's something real quirky and corny, and he's real. He seemed real into himself, and I don't know. I got stories, but I won't tell them because other people get mad because he's just stupid
Yeah, I
shit
feel you.
that they do, and you just see it, and you're like, oh my god, like it gets embarrassing sometimes when you see it,
They think they're
especially
like the toy gods, right? Like
yeah,
they're the reason why everyone even collects this stuff or watches
yeah.
reviews, things like that.
Like when I do this shit, like I know I'm not cool. Like I get it. Like I know I'm just some old man still playing with action figures, full blown nerd. Like I ride moto a lot, so like my moto friends see this and they know that this shit is stupid. So when I would talk to other action figure people and try to explain to them that this shit's stupid, and then they don't get it. Like I got because I got other toy friends and they think that this shit is like actually like a cool hobby. And I'm like,
Yeah,
you don't think that this is nerdy at all. I go,
yeah.
so you don't think that when you're asking the person at Target to look in the back for the for some GI Joes, you're not embarrassed? Like you
They're
don't
doing
think
that
that?
right now for that new what's his name, Commander Blood or whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
I don't
He's
follow
hitting right
GI
now.
Joe, but I see those GI Joes and guys in Target, and I'm like, oh my god, that's they make Marvel Legend collectors look like we're completely normal.
Yeah, yeah, they do,
Like
bro. The
they
Joe
go,
people are crazy.
they actually made the pop collectors look cool. Like I didn't think that was possible, but the GI Joe collectors actually did it. Like they did
Yeah,
it. Like you guys were so annoyed that you made a pop collector look cool.
yeah, it's crazy,
Like
dude.
congratulations, you made it. And
Yeah, that's one of the main topics I was actually going to talk with you about today. I think I'm gonna title this video maybe something like this: "Have collectors gone too far?"
okay.
That's gonna be probably the title of this video
I
because
think they went
that's what
too
I
far
wanted.
when they started collecting toys, but
Yeah, and like me, I barely started collecting maybe about 4 years ago, but you've been doing
right.
it for a long time, so
I've
you can
been
actually tell us
yeah.
how it was before compared to how it is now.
Before was it was like when I started there was almost always people waiting outside of Target. It was like because I started like in the Toy Biz 5 inch era, like back then.
Hmm.
I remember when McFarlane first put his 5 inch action figure out, and I literally like I got Nerdwood just sitting there holding it, just rubbing it, just going, I can't believe I'm
You
holding
were
a
like
five
Schmiegel,
inch.
bro, my precious.
Yeah, like it was like the coolest thing. I was like, holy shit. And back then we didn't have internet, so we didn't even really know the shit was coming. Like we'd run down to the local like bookstore and go look at all the action figure magazines to kind of see what was coming out in the next few months. Like so we couldn't just go on Instagram and see what's coming out. So we
Yeah,
would we like a lot of the my toy friends that I have, well I don't have that many, but I would see them at Target every day, and then like it seems like everybody, not everybody, but the majority of the action figures are all kind of too cool to talk to each other.
yeah,
Especially the ones that are cool, they really think they're too cool to talk to each other. So when you see other people at Target and you know you're looking for the same thing, like you guys don't even strike up conversation. And I'm guilty of it too. Like I don't
yeah,
sit there and be like, "Hey, bro, what are you looking for?" Like I will on occasion, but just because I try to be better about that. But then like you're both like doing like that nerd aggressive speed walk towards the action figure aisle, and we're
dude.
just sitting
Yeah,
there going, "Please turn off for the pops. Please turn off for the Hot
yeah,
Wheels.
yeah.
Please
And
turn off.
that's how you
Please."
get to know every different type
Right.
of collector, because like the toy
Yeah.
aisle has a bunch of different aisles. One goes to the Hot Wheels, one goes to the figures, one
Right.
goes to the pops. Everyone just
Yeah.
diverges, and they're
And
power
then
walking,
you
bro. Like I know
then
I have a
you
friend that runs, bro. Like when he gets to
right.
Walmart, he's recorded himself running. This guy's like in his 30s, and he's
That's
running,
great.
bro. I need
I
to.
love
I'm gonna
that.
get him on the show too.
I love it. I
But
love when you're doing your aggressive speed walk and you see the dude like cut off through like the women's clothes section.
yeah,
And then all
yeah.
of a sudden he comes around the corner and he's like 200 feet in front of you, and you're like, "Are you fucking kidding me, bro? We walked in together. Like I know what you did when you went around that corner, and you're not even
He
embarrassed.
fucking ran, bro. He
Like
fucking ran. That's why.
we're gonna meet up in the same aisle, and you gotta look me in the face. Like you're gonna be looking at the ground when I come around the corner, but we're gonna meet up." And that shit is great. Like I love it when I see dudes running down the aisles. Like I've did an aggressive speed walk myself more times than I care to admit. Like, but I'm not proud of it. Like I'm ashamed every time I do it, especially when you walk into Target and the doors just open, and there's like three of you guys outside, and I just look at the employees and I go, I know they're all laughing right now. Like they're all
Yeah,
like chuckling under their breath right now, like watching these three full grown men like doing a speed walk towards the toy. Like
it's wild
it's
too, because like
horrible.
before you even get into the store, there's that awkward time where you guys are outside before they open, and in
Right.
your head you're just like, is this guy here for this? Is this guy here for
Yeah.
that? Is this guy here for
Right.
the new Black Series? And you're just like, damn, I gotta, and you're just thinking already where you're gonna cut through, how fast you're gonna go, when you're gonna run. It's crazy, dude. Like
Like
the way
heaven
collecting is.
forbid you guys actually like say hi to each other outside the store and be like, "What are you
Yeah,
guys here for? Are you guys here for the pops? Are you here?" I think because we're all like embarrassed that we're even there. So like we don't want to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm here for the Marvel Legends. It's supposed to that Modoc's supposed to be out today."
exactly. And then when they tell you like, oh, why are you here, bro? Like you try to bullshit, like, oh, I'm just here to look at some Pokemon cards or whatever, and they're like, all right, cool. This fool, you try to throw them off. You try to throw them off their game, like, oh, I'm here for Funko Pops, and they're like, oh, cool, and then when
Right.
you see each other at the same aisle, it's like, you got caught in the lie.
Another thing with the Marvel Legends, probably the number two question, which I asked Jesse this and I asked like this. I actually asked them during one of their panels, and they just like blew me off like I was some fucking nerd. But like when they make these larger characters, and because I just pointed out, I go like you got Mattel over here making like a 40-inch long T Rex, and it's what $50 like for the
Yeah,
big giant one, and
the
I'm
one
like,
right there behind you, bro. That
yeah,
custom
that one.
double
That
dinosaur
one.
right there. I think it's beautiful.
My buddy painted it. My boy Brock painted that into Devil Dinosaur for me.
Yeah, I think
That
it's
thing's like
sick.
$50. It's a vinyl toy. It's got like 7 points of articulation. I think it's amazing. Fucking
Yeah,
amazing. And why can't you do the larger characters like the Sentinel, which the Sentinel looks amazing. I'm glad they did it, but like make the Sentinel like that, or make a Galactic. Like you could literally make like they made those Batman, those 4 foot tall Batmans, and they were $100 and went on clearance for $50. Like,
Yeah.
why can't you make a Galactus like that? You can still put all
That
the
would be
detail
crazy.
in, like that Devil Dinosaur, tons of
Yeah.
detail, shitty paint, which I mean, and then make it like a 4 foot tall. Make some shit out of vinyl instead of plastic. Like now we're getting that Sentinel. That thing's like $400 on your doorstep. Like by the time you
Yeah.
pay all the shit, it was almost $400. Like so
Yeah.
now everybody's like they're pretty much doing Galactus next, which we don't know for sure if it's Galactus, but we do know for sure it's Galactus.
Yeah, we don't know for
Um,
sure, but everyone's anticipating.
but everybody knows for sure it's Galactus. Like,
Yeah.
what's that gonna cost? $500, $700
Yeah,
bucks, and
because it
like
has to be
so.
bigger than the Sentinel, I'd imagine.
Right. So if we're already $400 in, that thing's going to be at least $500. Like me personally, like I'm not a crazy about articulation. I like articulation, but I would
Yeah.
much rather pay $100 for a 4 foot tall Galactus than
Yeah.
$700 for a 40-inch. Like something a little bit bigger than the Sentinel. Like
Yeah, I
I
feel
wish they
you.
would do vinyl, like like NECA did that big King Kong. I don't know if you've seen that. I got that. He did.
Mhm.
McFarlane
And,
just did
and
that
even
big
when
cyborg monkey, Cygor.
yeah, Cygor,
That's
yeah.
$20, and
Yeah, like
like
even when you make a figure super big, the articulation doesn't really matter. It doesn't move that good because it's so big.
right,
Like they
yeah,
just
it's
did the
stiff.
Unicron, and you can't even really move that thing around because it's too freaking big and too heavy. So
Did you
I
get
think
the
you're right about that.
Unicron?
That no, I didn't get it. No,
Oh, I'm not a Transformer guy, but
yeah, I have some
I
Transformers right here, some big ones,
right,
Metroplex and Fortress Maximus.
they're
They're pretty big.
cool. I love them. It's just like that's Transformers itself is just a huge collection.
Yeah,
It's like I think if you collect Transformers, like that's it. You're like locked in. Like you're just a
yeah, yeah.
Transformer guy. Because I don't say
Especially
you can
because they
afford to
do
do it
third
all.
party and masterpiece. There's like a lot of options out there for Transformers.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot
there's
of
definitely a
options.
lot. But like on the vinyl figures, like say like the Mole Man monster, like because everybody's like, oh, it could either be the Mole Man monster or Galactus. Well, we all know they're not going to make the fucking Mole Man monster. Like,
Yeah, dude, it's not that for sure. No.
but why couldn't like make the Mole Man monster in vinyl? Like make that thing like $50, like they did the Cyborg monkey, like he was $20, and make him like $40.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And that monkey has a lot of good detail. It probably could just use a little bit more paint.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at it. I think the paint's decent. The sculpt is amazing. The articulation shit, but I mean, what do you expect for $20? I'd rather have a big nice version of it, or like if they did like a Fin Fang Foom, like they could do like a giant one out of vinyl for an affordable price. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel
I really
like
wish I had a Fing Fang Fu, man. He looks awesome. I see him right there behind you too. He's next to the fucking devil dinosaur. He's right there.
yeah. Well, they make a knockoff. You could just get that. I think the knockoff's like $150.
I think that thing is sold out too. Like you can't even get it.
Oh, even the knockoff?
Yeah, even the knockoff.
Because that dude was printing them, and it seemed like he would only do one. He'd only list one at a time. Because I saw like an argument on like Instagram or YouTube or something where the dude would put one up and he would try to get everybody to outbid himself. And one of the dudes in the comments was like,
Oh,
"Well, everybody chill the fuck out. He's going to release another one. And can we all agree not
yeah,
to pay more than $150 for this thing?" And
yeah.
like, because
I
like
think they
cause
were
he would,
paying more than that.
yeah,
So,
I thought I saw him selling for 150, but I could be wrong. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like I think the knockoff's as good as the original. I think it's like the same mold. I think it's like Dragon Man because I know they redid Dragon Man. Why can't you tell us what you're thinking about making? Why can't you ever tell us your future plans? Like why do you act like you're selling selling secrets to the Russian spies? Like it's action figures. Like let us know for like say you're a guy that you're trying to complete a team and you're like missing one character and you're looking at eBay and you're like, God, it's $300 for a shitty version like Lady Deathstrike. Like I want
yeah,
to come up on this Lady Deathstrike. Let people know. Like could you imagine being that dick spending $300 on some piece of shit action figure and then 2 months later they make it? And you're like, why
yeah,
didn't you
dude.
let us know? Or could you imagine being one of these customizers spending like 100
Yeah,
hours to make an action figure that they've never made, And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like the second you put it on your shelf, they show that they're making it, and you're like, "Oh my god, why is it so top secret?" Because I would talk to Jesse every year, and I'd be like, "Bro, like, cause like, I'd be like, when are you making this?" I was like, "Cause like I'm old, like, cause like Jesse, cause Jesse's as old as me," and I go, "Jesse, we're old as fuck, bro. Like, when are you gonna complete Alpha Flight?" And he goes, "You won't have to wait much longer." And I'm like, "Why is everything such a fucking secret?" Like,
Hey, he was right
just
though. They gave us a box set.
yeah. And then like within a year, like we had it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and then I'd bust Dwight's balls like, when are we getting Inhumans? And he goes, well, I don't know. Does anybody care about Inhumans anymore? And I'm like, then why did you make Black Bolt? Why
Yeah.
did you make Medusa? If nobody
Medusa.
cares
Yeah.
about them, why did you make those two? Like you made Medusa twice and made
Hmm.
Black Bolt what, three times? Like I would much rather have the whole Inhuman team versus two Medusas and three Black Bolts.
Yeah. I really
Like
want a lockjaw, which Mezco Toys did a lockjaw, and it's beautiful. So
I have that. It's still in the box. I haven't opened that yet.
yeah,
But
I just
I
want it for
haven't.
lockjaw. I don't even care about Black Bolt.
That's nobody bought it for Black Bolt.
Yeah.
Like everybody
No,
bought that strictly
for
for
lock.
Lockjaw.
Yeah, and he lights
But
up and stuff. I think so.
the the Black Bolt or the Lockjaw,
No, the lockjaw.
I gotta open mine and
Yeah,
see. I haven't really
his
been
little his thing lights up on his head.
okay. I need to get
Yeah,
that out. Maybe do a shitty review on it.
yeah,
But
bro.
it looks
People
super
want to see
cool.
it, bro.
Yeah, I know. I just you know how long these. I mean, my videos are shit with zero editing, and they still take way more time than I want to put into them.
Yeah, I
Like
love how
nothing,
I like your format. Like how you always started off talking shit, like
right?
standing up. I love that format, and then like you get into it afterwards after your professional, famous intro,
Right, yeah.
and then you get into it. Yeah,
The pro thing where I'm like world famous
yeah, yeah. World
with
famous, and then at the
with
end
like
you would put some nice photos of your toys, playing with your toys. Some of them are
yeah.
probably not safe for
I
work, but
haven't did that too much lately. I probably
yeah,
should do
yeah,
some more of those. This
yeah. Those things make
I
me laugh
try
so
to
hard, dude.
I try to do the intro just to scare off the week, just to let
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys know that you didn't come here for a toy review. Like you literally came here for me to talk shit about something.
yeah,
Like there's plenty of good toy review guys out there. Like there's guys that do tons of research, tons of
yeah,
editing. Their videos are amazing. This is not that guy. Like you didn't come
yeah.
here for that. Like
And
some
I
people
like how
will
you always mix in your motorcycle stuff in it to be like,
yeah.
I'm a nerd, but I like to do cool stuff too.
That's
Like
exactly why I do it.
yeah, like you're too
Just
embarrassed to just be toys. You're like, no, look at
right.
me. I could ride this bike and jump this high. I'm cool as fuck.
Yeah. Go,
But
I'm not one of you guys. I'm not like I actually got hobbies and shit.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
cause I'll see like people will do comments or whatever, and like I'll just like I always got some shitty comment for somebody, and I'll just
yeah,
be like, bro, I think you need to play outside a little bit more. Like you gotta like I like video games too, bro. I like TV too. I like the internet too. Like, but at some point you guys need to get outside and get other hobbies. Like, cause I don't know
yeah,
when I went to Toy Fair, like I stayed with Shart, which I actually like Shart. I know a lot of people talk shit about him, but
yeah.
when you know the dude, he's actually he's a really nice guy. Like I shared a room with him, we hashed it up for like fucking 5 days, and
That's
he's
cool,
cool.
man.
Like
I've
I mean
never
I
met
know
him,
like
but
no, if you go to Toy Fair and he's always that's I met him at Comic Con,
oh, okay,
and then because I was always too cool at Comic Con, like I did some videos making fun of other YouTube channels, like
yeah,
how everybody thinks that they're too cool and nobody like everybody knows like when we all go to a booth we all know who each other is and we all pretend like we don't and
hmm
then like there's the inner circles where some guys actually cross the barrier like the fourth wall and they actually said hi to each other and now they're cool. It seems like Unparalleled Universe and like Foos did that like they crossed like they actually said hi to each other and the shit worked out and it's like crazy like
yeah,
when you say hi to these dudes, you know we got a lot in common already. We're all full grown
yeah,
men playing with action figures, so you already know we're going to be semi friends. Like
hmm
it could be, but then I don't know. It's a weird vibe when you go there.
yeah. I
It,
feel like you don't have to even include none of that motorcycle stuff because, like, like you said, we can relate. We're all into the same stuff. But
right,
I think what's coolest about your stuff is literally your fucking house. Like your house is fucking crazy.
Oh,
and like
thanks,
you made everything right because like you're like you do construction, and I think
yeah,
everything is so cool. Like the way you built everything, even when you were showing us, like when you were playing Nerf with your son or something, like that was
yeah.
a sick ass display, dude. Like I was really impressed by that,
Oh,
honestly, the
thanks,
most.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a superintendent of a glass construction company, but I've been in construction my whole life. And then, my old house, I just bought some shitty little track house, and then, and when I got that, because I bought my first house at 25, and before I was like, 'cause I had action figures as a kid, not many because I was kind of poor. So like I just had a handful of Star Wars 3 3/4, and that was it. And then my friends made fun of me when I was 13, and so I just gave all the shit away to Opportunity Village. And so then when I got older, like when I was in my 20s, like I'd go to Toys R Us or whatever to look for a squirt gun, and I'd always go venture back to the action figure aisle and be like, man, like these Nightmare for Christmas shit is hot. Like I'd love to put these on my shelf, but I didn't have a house. And I go, dude, there's no way, not to insult you guys, but there's no way I'm going to buy action figures when I don't have a good place to put them. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
then I wouldn't buy shit, and then I bought my first house, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go get these Nightmare for Christmas action figures. Bought them, put them on the shelf, and then it didn't start with that. I started with like the Wildcats. Like as I went in
Oh.
there, and that little demon guy, I don't know where he's at. He's over here somewhere. Um, I went to Walmart one day, and I was like, man, that little four-arm monster looking thing was so cool. I forget his name. Dynamite? I don't know what it is. It's the little brown guy, the old Wildcats. I bought
Oh. Okay.
him, put him on my shelf, and I was like, man, that looks really cool. And then I bought all the Wildcats, and then I just went downhill extremely fast after that. Like I had like a little like 1,200 square foot house, 2 bedroom house, 2 bathroom, and it literally looked like 40-year-old virgin. Like it was like, and at the time I thought it was just so cool. Like I was like, I'll put him in my bedroom. I'll put him in my spare room. I'll put some in the kitchen, in the living room. Had him in my laundry room, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is horrible. And then
Yeah.
when girls would come over, whatever, they'd come in and be like, what the fuck is going on here? Like there's literally action figures in the bathroom. Like it literally looked just like 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
And then because I was in construction, I always wanted to build my own house, and I just bought a lot and just I put my nose down, and then I put in the hard work. I built it and built I really wanted this big giant toy room. So like it's like designed for like a home theater. There's
Yeah.
no windows. There's only one door, and the high ceilings. The room's like 20 feet by 22 feet, and then
I think there was a
it's
problem when you built your house because you should have made a bigger toy room, bro. Like.
right. I did was so, but my girlfriend at the time when I was drawing in the house out on graph paper,
Yeah.
and like the toy room was so big, and my girlfriend at the time looked over my shoulder, and she goes, "The toy room is bigger than the fucking master bedroom," and I'm like, because it was like 30 feet by 30 feet. And then I shrunk it down to 22 feet by 20 feet. So if you look at like a footprint on my house, it's like the same size as like my bedroom. So like it like
Mm,
mirrors itself. But it
hmm.
was bigger. And plus then I had to figure, like what can I build a house for? And if you're good and if you got skills, you can build a house for about $100 a square foot. And so I was just doing the math on what I could afford, and so I had to, because when I first drew my house up, it was this giant mansion, and then I had to shrink it in half, and then shrink it, and then shrink it, and shrink it
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
where the room got like this. But I never, when I built the room, I never actually thought that I would have this many stupid action figures to fill the room. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
like you never, when you start collecting, you never really see the future of the collection
Exactly.
going
Yeah.
this big. Like, because when
Yeah.
I started Masters of the Universe, because like right now, like I wouldn't mind selling my Masters of the Universe collection. Like, because when I started it, it's like, oh, I want He-Man, I want Clawful, I want Merman, I want Skeletor. And then when I started it, it was like cool, and it was like they'd make all these offbeat characters that I have no clue who they are.
Yeah.
But the collector in you doesn't know how to say no, and then you get
Exactly.
them all, And then I'm sitting here looking at my He-Man collection, and then I go, you know what? I'm gonna add this up and see how much I spent on this shit. And that's the
Dang.
last thing you ever want to do. So I added it all up,
Yeah,
and
I don't do that, bro. I don't even do that. No,
it's $13,000. Like that's
bro.
what for He-Man,
When you made that video, I was here. I busted out my calculator, and you were
right?
like, "I'm thinking of selling this shit." I was like, "No way! Like, I would love to have that fucking collection." So I
Right,
did. I busted out my calculator.
right,
I'm like, "Shit, 12 grand. Yeah, I'm fucked. I can't. I
yeah,
can't. I can't buy it off."
yeah.
But
Because
if I had
just
the
the snake
12
mountain
grand, just
alone
yeah,
is
if I had
seven
the
hundred
extra money,
dollars.
just bang. Yeah,
But
that
then
castle.
because I looked on eBay and I'm like, I wonder what this shit's worth. And then the majority of these figures are over $100 each.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, if I sold it for what I paid for it, would be cheap compared to what
Yeah.
it's going for. Like, these things open are like $100 each. Granted, you have the occasional figure that's like 20, $40, but
Yeah. Yeah.
like, I mean, the stupid Snake Mountain's going for like $1,500 now, and
Yeah.
it's like, dude, like, I got it, and like, I wasn't on the fence because I knew I was going to get it, but I wanted to be on the fence, and I go, you know what, just get it because you know it's going to be $1,500 the day it gets on your doorstep, and it was. It's just like the sail barge. Like, I didn't hesitate at all. Like, I almost bought two of those, but as soon as you bought that, it was like $500. It came with a yak face. And
Yeah.
I sold, which I don't normally sell stuff. I just don't like doing eBay and all that shit. But I was
Hmm.
like, oh, fuck it. Let me put this yak face on eBay. I sold that thing for like $200. And then, so my
Yeah.
sale
I
barge was
remember when you
actually
made that video. Yeah.
300
So it
bucks.
almost
And I
paid for
was,
itself. Yeah.
yeah. And I was
Hmm.
like, God, I wish I would have bought two sail barges now because now those things are like 1,500 bucks, 2 grand.
Yeah.
And I can't believe how much action figures go for these days. Like, granted, like some of the shit in your collection goes way down in value, but a lot of it that stays popular goes up. It's like when they made that Rogue action figure. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I picked one up, and then I was, if I would have known they were going to make the Mystique with a separate Rogue head, I would have bought two. That's like shit.
Hmm.
Like, if I would have known that, like, hey, maybe we're thinking about doing this, I would have bought two of them. And then I was like, oh, I went on eBay to buy one, and then she was like $100, and I'm like,
Yeah. She
you got to
went
be
up.
kidding
Yeah.
me! Like, in just no time at all, she went up to $100, and
Yeah.
then like I kind of feel like Hasbro looks at eBay and they're like, shit, she's up to $100. We still got the mold hot. Let's run off another. Let's zip her off again. Which
Yeah.
which
That's what they actually do. Yeah. That's what they do.
yeah. So then it's kind of which it's cool, but then it sucks. Like it was cool because I got to get another Rogue, but it also sucks because it kind of shows you that all your action figures will never be worth anything because like they're just gonna re-release everything, like all the He-Man
Yeah. Yeah.
shit. Like now they got another He-Man cartoon coming out, and now they're
Hmm.
gonna make more He-Man figures, and those won't stop as long as people buy them. Like to
Yeah.
me, those little shitty 5-inch, 5-point articulate, or the 6-inch, whatever those are, the ones they sold at Walmart. I hate those things, and those things sell like crazy.
Yeah. Are you talking
Like
about the Origins ones, the Masters of the Universe Origins?
the ones that are
Like
at
they're
Walmart right now.
yeah. I got them right here on top.
Yeah,
Right
like because
here.
that is
That's the
like
new castle, bro. That's the new castle. Can you see it? It's
okay. I haven't
the
seen that in the stores yet. Is
yeah. I
that
found
just
it at
the
one.
the old castle, like the same mold, like because I
No,
have
it's a
the old castle
yeah. It's based
and
off
the new
that, but it's
one.
different. Yeah, it's a whole different
Okay,
mold. Yeah.
I wonder if it is as big as the old one, or do you know? Do you have the
Yeah,
old
I've
one?
seen. I think they're about the same. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
I actually like the old one better because it kind of looks more organic looking. Like
right,
it looks kind of cricket and stuff. This one looks like more streamlined.
yeah.
But
Because I got
I
the
don't have the
new
classic,
one
so
too, and
yeah,
then I don't know. I really like that one. When they made that, I thought that was really cool. But the whole He-Man thing, it got like I'm not pixeled down. Like it got way bigger than what I wanted, and like
yeah.
I just didn't know how to stop. And now I'm like sitting here looking at $13,000 in He-Man action figures, and
Hey,
I'm
at
like,
least, but like you said, a lot of them go up in value. So now you could
right,
probably make a profit. So if you want to sell them, just sell them.
yeah. But I
That's how.
think I'd have to sell them one at a time, and God, I just that seems like so much work. Like
Yeah, it's work,
because
man. You
like
gotta.
when I die, like somebody's just gonna come in here and do like some like fire sale and come
Yeah,
up on this whole collection for like $2,000, and it'd be like, oh
probably.
shit,
Yeah,
yeah, because I don't know what else you would do to it. Because when you die, like who's taking over this bullshit? Like
yeah.
my kid don't want it. Like he don't like he's in there playing Fortnite right now. So
That's my kid too right now. Yeah.
yeah, that or YouTube, and that like that's his life. And I'll like try
Hmm.
to twist his arm to go ride dirt bikes, and he's like, "No, I'm good." Like
Yeah,
I
that's
can get him to
crazy.
go on bike rides with me, but that's about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I mean, you like when you're growing up, I remember going through that phase too, where you just want a game, like play video games.
Uh
But
huh.
eventually, girls are gonna get introduced to the picture, and then his
Right.
habits might change, or sports.
Yeah.
It's gonna change when he gets older.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, what I was saying, like when I was saying with short, like I was talking, I was talking shit about all you guys and whatever, and
yeah,
then and like he just goes, look, he said you got other stuff going on in your life, which is cool. He said some people, not all, but some people that collect action figures, it's their only thing. Like they're
yeah. It's
not
their main thing. Yeah,
like they don't ride dirt bikes, they don't ride skateboards, or they don't play football. Like
yeah.
that's their thing. That's what they do. Like
Hmm.
maybe they have a family or whatever, but and I go, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, 'cause I was like, it's crazy how much this means to people. And
Hmm.
when like I get it. Like I have like friends that are just super into action figures. Like they don't play sports or anything. They don't. It's like this is their passion, which I am passionate about it. Like I'm not trying to pretend like I'm not. Like I
Yeah.
do
Well, if
like
you
the
weren't passionate,
collection.
you wouldn't have that
Yeah,
behind you. You know.
yeah.
So
I'm a
we know you like them.
little less passionate now than I was, just because it's all just like I'm starting to see the big picture here, and I'm like going, oh my god, like what did this like, like when people walk into your toy room for the first time and they're just like, holy shit, like
Yeah.
what like if there's 100 of them, it's like a crazy amount. So like when people walk in here that don't collect, and they're
Yeah.
like, holy shit, there's how many's in here, and I'm like, oh fuck, like I don't even want to tell people that aren't toy people. Like, cause they're
Yeah. I
just
feel
like,
you.
oh man, you got issues. Like, I was talking to my coworker today, and he's got like 7 cars, and I'm like, bro, like you got 7 cars, like, like what? And he goes, you got how many action figures you got? And I go, well, you know how many I
Yeah.
got. And he goes, all right, do the math on your action figures. And he's like, so you spent $250,000 on your action figures. He goes,
God
now let's add up
dang.
all 7 of my cars. And he goes, so you literally spent more on action figures than I did my cars. And like when you put shit like that, and like, cause his truck's $90,000, this hot rod was
Yeah.
$40,000, this, and then you turn it this, and you take 10,000 times, and say they all cost $20 each, 10,000 times that by 20, and you're like, holy shit, I spent a lot of money on action figures. But
Yeah.
granted, I mean, it's not like I would have save, because I used to do which I will again. I didn't do a wrap up for 20 video this year, which I've did them in the past. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those videos or not, but I'll
Yeah, dude.
break down.
I'll watch basically all your videos unless you're reviewing like maybe like those Nightmare Before Christmas because I'm not into that, but
Yeah,
pretty much I
or
watch mostly
Gremlins or
everything.
some stupid shit like that. Which I actually like the Gremlins. I thought that was a really
The
good
Gremlins,
line.
I saw that one. I like the Gremlins.
Yeah, that was
I'd collect
a
those
good
too if
one.
I had the space and the money.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like right now, like I come in here and like I'm trying to, because I was just getting burnt out and thinking about stop collecting and what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
Like at what point do you say, all right, enough? Like this is enough.
yeah,
Like when you come in here and you're like, this is $250,000 in here. Like at
yeah.
what point do I come in here and go, I think I got enough toys. I think it's time to enjoy the action figures that I have, or start selling
Exactly,
some,
exactly.
or
Yeah,
do something. And I don't know, man. When you see
that's
new shit coming out and
yeah. That's the
you
problem
want
with
it,
the toy community. That every day there's something new, and every
right?
day they're always announcing something new. And there's so many companies out there. There's always new stuff coming out,
Oh,
so it never ends,
it's
and you just get
always
hyped,
new.
and you get hyped up
Yeah.
for this, you get hyped up for that, and it never ends. It just keeps going.
Some dude hit me up in the comments and he was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting this, but I'm thinking about getting a house." And I go, "Dude, don't collect toys, bro. Like, just don't. Like, if you, I mean, I don't know your situation, nor do I give a shit. But it's like,
Mhm.
if you don't have a house or whatever, I mean, houses are so expensive right now. Like, it almost seems impossible to get one. But if you're
Mm-hmm.
spending money on action figures, how are you ever going to get a house? Like it's just it's a difficult situation because I piss a lot of people off with that, and they're like, "Well, how did you get this?" And I go, "I wasn't collecting toys. Like in my old house, my old 40-year-old virgin house, I it was fairly affordable. I think I bought it for like 125,000, and
Mm-hmm.
at the time that was fine. And then when I sold it, I doubled my money, and then I put that money into this one. But then it took me 7 months to build this house, and I didn't go to Target once. I didn't buy one toy. I didn't do
Yeah.
like it was work on my house. And if
Mm-hmm.
I could pick this shit up, at Frank and Sons or some shit in between, cool. If I miss it, then I miss it. But
Mm-hmm.
if I never did that, I would never have like a really cool toy room. Like, cause I see these
Exactly.
collections and like, so like one
A
of
lot
my
of
friends
people don't
collect.
know the sacrifice you made
Right,
and what you worked, like how you worked it up to have your dream
right.
toy room. Like it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I understand
Which
for
they
sure.
don't get, and they're like, oh well, like you're just rich or you're this or that. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, no, actually, I'm not. I'm a construction worker with a third grade education. I just actually put down the game controller long enough to actually do something. Which, because
Mm-hmm.
I would love to sit around and play video games all day, but it's just not. I mean, in Monterey, you got to do just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like
Yeah.
right now, I think, especially me, I think we're all addicted to our phones. Like you got people on their phones right now watching this video, and it's just, which I am too. God, I waste so much of my day like looking at Instagram or watching your guys' videos or just scrolling around looking at eBay, like just
Yeah.
stupid shit. And it's I don't know, man.
We're, we're
It
all
was
just
a lot
wasting our time,
easier,
bro.
when we didn't have phones. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah, dude, like yeah, I think about that like cuz I grew up there wasn't cell phones yet. It wasn't until I
right,
got a little bit older. And I
right.
remember, man, I was outside probably about 90% of the day
We all
cuz
were.
I would go to school and then I'd come home and be outside with my friends either riding bikes, playing sports or going to the pool or whatever. I
Yeah,
would just be outside all the time and even when cell phones first came out, they weren't smartphones, they were just to
yeah,
call or text. And even
yeah.
texting wasn't big right away. It took a while.
No, yeah,
And but I grew up through the whole phase of this technology, even the internet. Like there was no internet when I was a kid,
right.
so you had to go like basic stuff. Like if a kid wanted to look at porn or something, you got to go
Right.
get a Playboy magazine. Like
Oh,
you got
dude.
to sneak it
You know,
around.
you would go on like that abandoned lot, like in the desert or whatever, and there would be like that community like penthouse that we would all share. Like
Yeah,
it'd
yeah,
be
yeah,
like, oh shit, look at this, and then somebody would rip out the good pages and probably like take them home and slide them under their mattress. Like we didn't have the luxury of porn. Like now my kid's
yeah, yeah,
10, and his mom gave him a smartphone, and I'm like, God, I think that's a horrible decision. But
yeah.
like
And
I
that's
like
all
I
kids
almost
are
feel,
doing nowadays. Like they're just on the
yeah,
phone. They'll literally talk to each other on the phone, even though if they're sitting right next to each other,
dude,
they'll
that's
just
my
message each
kid.
other.
Like I hate it and I'm guilty of it and I try to break him off of it, but
Yeah.
it's just like the kids just like there's no kids riding their bikes up and down the street in front of my
Yeah,
house.
it's
Like
not
there's
like it
no
used to be, man.
like everybody's inside on their fucking phone and it's sad, but it's just I couldn't imagine like I think we were blessed growing up without that technology because if we had it, I'd probably would have I'd probably be in my room right now
You'd
jerking
be
off to
40-year-old
porn
virgin
or
still, right?
yeah, like there would be really no need to go out like unless you
Yeah,
get like I don't know. That's why I'm so like into the dirt bike thing and
yeah.
like we go to the track and it's just all the guys talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
You can't offend anybody out there. It's just super fun. You don't see a phone anywhere unless they're like doing a video or taking a picture, and it's just
Yeah,
it's just so refreshing to go to do that versus you go to like Frank and Sons and like you see people walk around with their phone in their hand or it's just like just put the phone down. Which I'm guilty of it too. I do it too. Like
yeah,
I just gotta somehow learn to turn my shit off or put it like a timer or something on it. But
yeah,
because you get lost on Instagram, like shit, you could be on there for 3 hours and be like, holy shit. Like you'll come home from work and go, I didn't do anything today. Like I literally did nothing. Like I came home, my chick made me dinner. And we watched and we hung out for a minute, and then we go to bed and we're still looking at our fucking phones. It's
Yeah,
I know everybody else out there does it too. Like I
yeah,
know I'm
we're
not
all on the
alone.
same page now.
Yeah, we just
Yeah,
gotta break. We just gotta find hobbies that, at least when we're running to Target, like at least we're off our phone for a minute. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. We're at least we're getting a little walk in, some
Yeah,
stretching.
you don't want to do that speed walk on your phone and run into some old lady with a shopping cart and be like, "Oh shit, sorry about that. I'm trying to track down that next set of legends."
Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that, man. But look, check this out. We were gonna talk about how collecting is now, and if we've gone too far. Can you see my screen right now? The screen share.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Okay, so this was a post that they made, where it says when collectors go wild. It says from Target employee, these NECA boxes are in the back, and we can't touch them. The rep won't come back because someone put a tracker on his car.
You're kidding
Like,
me.
I'm not kidding you, bro. This was posted on Total Toy Recon. It's a page on Instagram,
All right.
and it seems legit. Like you can see the pallet there; it hasn't been touched. Everything's on there, and like these are the lengths that people are going to nowadays. It's crazy. Like they got a tracker on the guy that restocks NECA, bro. So that way,
I
when
don't
he's at
think
Target, they know they know
I,
that
I
it's time to go.
I don't think we've gone too far. I feel like it's supply and demand. Like NECA knows how much shit they're gonna sell.
Yeah.
Like sell the right amount of shit. Like we shouldn't have like because when I'm like looking for Marvel Legends or something that I really enjoy collecting, I go a little bit crazy myself. Like I
Hmm.
don't go GI Joe crazy. I don't go pop crazy. At the end of the day, if I can't find it, I'm just gonna go on the internet and order it somewhere. If I got to pay an extra $5 to get it, but I kind of feel like this is NECA's fault. This is Hasbro's fault. Like
It is.
make
Yeah,
what we
it is.
need.
Yeah.
Like
They
why
can't
don't you
keep up with
want
the
more
demand.
money? I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I don't work and like I don't make this stuff. I don't know. Like if you make 1,000, but you need 5,000 to quench the thirst to where people don't go in completely insane. Why can't
Yeah.
they make that? Like I don't understand that. But I mean, I'm not. Maybe the factories are full. Maybe I don't know why they don't pump it up more. Like I
Yeah.
still haven't got
Because
my Hellfire Club. Like I missed out on the
dang.
first original order. Did you get one of those yet? The box set?
No, I didn't get that set. No.
Like because I got on the late order and
Yeah.
I still haven't got it. I saw that I got an email saying that it's shipping and it's like why can't you make enough of that shit? Like when I go to Comic Con and everybody's going crazy, like waiting in line, limits. Like there shouldn't be a limit. Like if somebody
Yeah.
wants to buy 100 box sets, sell
Hmm.
100 box sets, and like it just so. I don't know if we've gone too far. Like we just, I mean, we love the shit. Like what are you gonna do? Like have you ever like looked at Target's like DCPI number and then track the
Yeah.
stores
Oh yeah.
down?
Everybody does, man.
Like, are we going too far with that? Like, we're just trying to get our shit, bro. Like, we're
Yeah.
just, you know,
I
like
feel
we're
you, and
collectors.
I agree with you that it's not the consumer's fault. I think it's
I don't think
more
so either.
I blame it on the companies, but
I do
what I
too.
talk to with my friends is that they're doing this stuff on purpose. And you know why? It's because they like the attention and the hype that it creates.
Of
They
what?
like
Going
the
crazy?
yeah, they like people going crazy because there's like this demand that
Right.
they're generating, and if things are really hard to find, people don't want to give up and they keep going to Target, Walmart until they actually find it. So
Right.
it
Can't you
keeps
just
their
order all
stuff.
that NECA shit online?
Yeah, exactly. It keeps like a hype going. It makes it wanted, desired, because you already
Yeah,
know if they made a lot of this stuff, it would peg warm and then end up at Ross or Five Below or whatever. But at
so,
the way they do it now is they trickle it down little by little
right.
until so that the hype doesn't die down.
Okay, I can see that. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
and it keeps their product in high demand. It happens a lot with collectibles like mezcos. You already know how mezcos are. No one gives a
Yeah.
damn when it's a regular release, but if it's an exclusive,
Right.
sold out in seconds, crashes the website, and then the aftermarket climbs and it keeps it really desirable, makes it a
Yeah.
desirable collectible.
And then they make a repaint or a re-release like that fucking Wolverine. And then
Yeah,
you,
yeah, make
and
it
then
better.
all those dudes that spent $500 on that Wolverine just feel like a complete idiot. Like they're just like, oh my god, I can't believe, because I missed out on that Punisher when they did the Punisher,
Yeah.
And so, like, I went to the streets. Like, I would go to Comic Con and I would bust. What was that black dude's name? That worked for Mezco at the time. I forget. They Mezco fired him or got rid of him or something. But
Yeah. I think I know who you're
Pierre,
talking about. Pierre. Yeah.
Pierre, yeah. Like, I would bust his balls. I'd be like, bro, I missed out on the Punisher. I really want that Punisher. Like, can you re-release the Punisher? Busted his balls every day for and then boom, they remade the Punisher. So you guys are welcome. Like, it's not the same version, but it's
Yeah.
pretty close. And I actually, that's like my favorite Punisher, the one that they re-released where he had the mask.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, I think yelling at him constantly, like all these people when they do interviews with NECA or whatever, and they just go over there and they lick their balls, and nobody wants to like tell them what they really think.
Hmm.
Like, you need to tell them what you really think. Like, your voice matters. Like, if you just go up to the Dwight every year and just go, "Oh my God, your shit's amazing," they're never gonna make their shit better. Like, they're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
gonna keep giving you shit. If
Yeah.
you tell them that their character selection is amazing, then they're never gonna change it.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't just keep doing everything the same and expect things to get better. Basically,
Right.
like with what you're saying. And then I got this other article that's like literally on local news and stuff, where now they're fighting over Pokemon cards, bro, and like sports
I
cards.
I saw that on Instagram and I didn't really understand it. Are people really fighting over this shit? Like,
Bro, someone pulled out their piece for sports cards, bro.
you're kidding
I
me.
got the article right here. I'm not kidding you. So it literally says right here in this article on Yahoo. Um, it says, let me see, sports cards have skyrocketed in value over the past year, creating a newfound interest among sports fans across the country. Um, but the retail giant Target has decided to get out of the trading card game, at least temporarily, after a violent altercation in the parking lot last week. So
So that
now,
was for
if you go to your,
sports cards?
yeah, for I don't know if it was sports or Pokemon, one of those. Those are the hottest ones.
Right.
But
Okay.
if you go into your local Target now, there should be a sign that says they're not going to sell cards anymore because of
No cards.
safety issues.
So no
Um,
cards. They're done with all cards.
yeah, well, with the
All right.
popular stuff, yeah, sports and Pokemon.
Okay.
So it even
Wow.
says right here, Target confirmed Wednesday that starting on Friday, all MLB, NFL, NBA, and Pokemon trading cards will not be sold in stores out of an abundance of caution. This decision comes after a fight over trading cards broke out in Wisconsin Target parking lot.
See, this shit is great because it makes us look normal. Because you see that and you're like, dude, there's
This is
nothing
some
wrong
Joe
with us.
collector kind of shit right here, bro. This is what
Yeah.
Joe collectors do.
Yeah. That's some pop Joe shit right there. Like, that's
Yeah, dude. It's
when I was
just,
in Fresno working, and then because I'll hit up the stores while I'm out there, and then I went by like the beauty section, where they put the cards like up front at the front of the
yeah, yeah.
store. So I walked in there and I went, I did my walk back to the action figures, come up empty handed, just like, we always do. And I'm going back and they got this line. They got at least 50 people in the line and it's like weaving through the whole cosmetic section. And I'm going, what the fuck is this? And then they had the dude, the target guy with a basket full of cards, and he's sitting there putting the cards on the pegs one at a time, like stocking them all. He had a whole shopping cart full of them, and all these nerds had to wait. So the first thing I do is I call my chick up on FaceTime, and I'm like, "Babe, you're not gonna believe," because I gotta let her know that what I
You're like,
do,
you thought I was a
I'm
nerd.
normal.
Look at
I'm
these guys.
normal. Yeah, like I'm normal. I go, you gotta see this shit. So I call her on FaceTime. I'm walking through the line, like filming these dudes, and I can just see the embarrassment. They're just going, this motherfucker is literally like either filming us or calling somebody on FaceTime. And like I
Yeah.
walked through the line, and then when they opened that shit, they made the people wait in line, and so they was monitored, and like one person would get to come up and pick two packs of cards, not two of
Mhm.
each, two pack, like a Pokemon or like a sports or whatever. And I was just going, dude, this has got to be so fucking embarrassing. Like I couldn't. Which I'm sure that like normal people see us like doing our
Yeah.
speed walk and
Like
everything,
them.
and they're
Like,
saying they're filming us. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but like at least it gives us a chance to like make fun of somebody else, like
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
nerd
Takes the
community.
attention off of us, like
Yeah,
when your friends talk shit, it's like, dude,
yeah,
you don't see me fighting for these shits, and they're fighting for Pokemon cards. So
yeah. Like I'm
it
just
makes
here.
you,
I'm just trying to come up on a set of legends, bro. I'm not even here for
yeah,
the Joes or the Pops or nothing. Like
yeah.
I went to Target early one day, and then there was like 8 people there, and like it was like a set of Marvel Legends was supposed to be out that day. You know, like when they're street dating or whatever. And I'm like calling my
Yeah.
buddy. I'm like, "Fuck, dude, there's like 10 people out here. Like everybody's trying to come up on these legends." And then they unlock the doors. They open the doors, and they go, "Whoever is here for pops, everything's right up front at the sales counter, like right here."
Yeah.
And literally the whole entire line went straight there, and I was the only dude looking for legends, and they weren't
That's
there.
dope,
But
eh? That's good.
yeah,
Less
and I was like,
competition.
I like actually felt good, like oh look at me, I'm just here for like toilet paper or some shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, all these nerd people, they're over there, and like I'm over here, like I'm gonna go get some toothpaste. But I didn't. I left empty-handed, and
yeah,
always look like you just stole something when you walk out of Target
yeah. It
empty-handed.
feels
You're like,
awkward. Yeah, they're
yeah,
like,
like I
what the
can't
hell did
buy
this
that
guy
many
come in
packs of
here?
gum. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like
Like
this dude again. Like what you didn't, you couldn't find nothing you wanted in Target, really. But
this
they
whole
don't
big
realize
store,
that.
you could.
Yeah, they don't realize that we went to 3 Targets that day. Like I already
Yeah,
bought a water, a pack of gum, some toothpaste. I
you
already
already
got
got some
all
of your
that,
money,
but
bro.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that shit is crazy, dude. The whole that's a good story, man. I didn't know. I saw a meme on Instagram or something about that. I didn't really believe it, but
Yeah, dude,
now
it's
that
real
you
life.
showed
It's
me,
on the news. And, the article even goes on to say one man was injured in a fight, which reportedly only ended after he accessed his gun. So he literally
right?
took out his gun.
Well,
And
I
it says the
mean,
victim, per the report, has a concealed carry weapons license. No shots were fired. 4 men were later arrested and taken into custody on battery, strangulation, and disorderly conduct charges. So,
oh, that's
like,
great.
imagine if this were to happen for Joe's, bro. Like, is Target gonna stop selling action figures? Like, we're in trouble, bro. Like, if this starts happening with toys, like, what's gonna happen? Like, they're gonna take them off.
Yeah, I don't know because I talked to my friend asked me about that, and he was like, like, well, the gas prices going up or this going up, like, like they're not gonna make this anymore, and they're not. And I go, I dream of that day. I dream of the day to where they stop making action figures, and I don't, and I could come in here and reorganize or like because none of us need any more action figures. We all have enough. So
Yeah,
like if they ever did stop, which they won't stop because they just seem to be making more and more like new companies popping up all the time, like Storm Collectible, like everybody's making like the same figure over, like he'll make a
true.
Lobo, then he'll make a Lobo, then he'll make a Lobo, and it's like God, how many Lobos do I need? Like how many Supermans
Yeah.
do I need? That's the sign I saw on Instagram right there.
Yeah, this is real, bro. I just got the photo so I could show you, but yeah, they're not gonna have them no more. And
Oh my
it says
God.
that they might sell them online, but you already know how shit's impossible to get online because there's a lot of bots
Yeah.
and stuff, so everything sells out quick. So I feel bad
Yeah.
for collectors, man, because scalpers have ruined it. It's gone. Like you can't get your stuff anymore from Target, dude. And Walmart did the same thing. They have the same sign at Walmart.
Well, thank God for that internet, huh?
Yeah,
That
dude.
same shit we're trying to get off of, we're gonna be back on.
Yeah, dude. That's
Like,
why I was trying to. That's why I wanted to make this episode like to say have collectors gone too far. I feel like in a way it's not just collectors' fault, but there's a lot more things involved, like resellers, even the Target employees themselves are selling these shits,
right.
bro. Like there's a
I
lot of
mean,
yeah.
I
Go
see a
ahead.
lot of people get mad at them, and I'm like, dude, you work at Target, like, you should be doing that. If I worked at Target, like, hell yeah, I'm taking all the GI Joes. You guys wouldn't see any. The cards, like, I don't really know what cards are worth, but if they were worth something, and I worked at Target and I make a minimum wage, none of those cards would hit those pegs. And you guys could hate on me all you wanted. Like, I make a minimum wage. And I'd be like, dude, I just made $500 selling your trading cards. Like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like, I'm not mad at them when they do that. Like, I see the people hating, like, the GI Joes never hit the pegs. Well, okay, so they get a job at Target,
Yeah.
And then you can have as many as you want. You can quit your job, whatever you're making, 20, $30 an hour. You can quit that job, work at Target, and then clean up on the Joes. Like, who cares? Like, you work at Target,
Hey,
you're
two
supposed to do
paychecks,
like shit
bro.
like that. That's like getting mad at the dude that works at Taco Bell for eating 2 burritos. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
that's part of it, dude. Like, he works at Taco Bell.
Yeah, yeah, I understand why they do it, but it's just like a lot of pieces to the puzzle why you can never find anything in the stores. Even regular collectors, like when you see a full case of Modocs or whatever's out, you
Hmm.
call your homies, hey, who wants one? And then all your
Oh,
fucking
dude,
homies
I
want
got the
one.
whole case, bro.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah, you
saw
buy
any
the
of
whole
those.
case. So
Who
now
needs
every
one?
collector
Who needs
is
one?
screwed. Yeah,
Guess what, boys? Like, cause I don't have many toy friends, but I had enough to clean up all those fucking Modocs, and there wasn't one on the shelf when I left. And it's like I
yeah,
didn't keep them all, but I hooked up my homies with them, and it's like, and they did the same for me. And it's like,
yeah, yeah,
oh, we they got 2 cases of Marvel Legends. Well, get them all.
yeah.
Like,
Like
leave the
that's what.
two per case, and
Yeah,
which that's where I'm like supply and demand. Like, I don't think, like, granted, you're saying like if it's hard to get, it keeps it hot, which I
yeah.
totally get that. But as
Hmm.
a collector, I would like, I don't care. Like, I don't want you to not have it. Like, I don't want
Yeah.
you to have to go to eBay to get it. Like, I would like us to
Hmm.
all casually, like, we can actually like hold hands while we're walking in Target. Like, none of us are racing. And we're like talking about like what shit we're gonna do on the weekend. Then we all grab our set of Marvel Legends and we walk out. Like, I dream of that day, but we all know that that day is never gonna come. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, dude. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. Like right here, I got this image of a guy. You can see he clearly works at Target. He's like in the back, and he's
Right?
taking photos of a pop, bro. Like to flip it online on Mercari. You can see,
I'm cool with that.
yeah,
I
but people, but now like it shows the community like, hey, this is happening. It's been happening for a long time, you know.
right.
And you could tell
And
the guy clearly works at Target. He has the right uniform,
I get
the
it. I
locker room
understand the
there.
frustration, but
Yeah.
his sacrifice. He works at Target. Like, I don't know what you do for a living, but I can guarantee you make more than him. Like, I guarantee just by looking at your toys in the background, you make more than that dude at Target. So,
Probably, yeah.
like, I'm
I don't
okay
know,
with
dude.
him
Like he's
doing
making
that.
a lot of profit flipping these toys. He's probably making more
Dude,
than me.
I worked at Scandia. I worked at Scandia, like the miniature golf course, when I was at when I was in high school, like, or junior high or some shit. I
Yeah,
can guarantee you, none of my friends had to pay to ride the bumper cars. Like,
yeah, yeah.
that was the
Or the
advantage
cute
of
girl you
working at
like,
Scandia.
or the
Yeah,
cute girls that you like.
yeah, you just come right in. I just open up the side gate, and you guys come right on in. Like, that's the advantage of working at Scandia. That's the advantage
Yeah,
of
yeah,
working at Target. Like, it sucks for collectors, but it is what it is. If I worked at Target, I'd take all your guys' shit. It just is what. And you can hate on me all you want, bro, because I work at Target. I make minimum wage. Like, go ahead and
yeah,
hate. I just made $1,000 on eBay. Like, it made up for it.
yeah.
If you don't like
Exactly.
it,
Yeah,
you guys can go on Big Bad Toy Store or wherever the fuck you guys go, and buy your shit there because they're never sold out. Like, you can always pre-order all your shit and get. I
yeah.
don't know about Joe's. Like, I don't know if you can pre-order all that shit. I know when I go down to the like my local like action figure store, like, they have a ton of Joe's. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know if they're hot or if they're hard to come by or whatever,
I think
but
it's the main problem is the exclusives for Joe's. The Cobra Island, those are Target exclusive and they're super
oh,
hard to
okay,
find.
all
Yeah,
right,
but the regular Joe's, yeah, you can just get them online on Amazon or Big
okay.
Bad or whatever you prefer.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
like more. I just don't know anything at all about Joe's, so maybe that's why the guys are going crazy.
yeah, I'm surprised that's like something you don't collect because like you have
I
basically everything, every freaking
Right.
line.
I never liked GI Joe as a kid. I know,
Yeah.
like I was poor and I had like a few Star Wars, and then like the rich kid down the street, like he had the GI Joe, like he had like that battleship thing, the aircraft
Oh yeah,
carrier
huge one. Yeah,
that you had to put in the living room because it wouldn't fit in any kid room at the time.
yeah.
And I would go there and I'd be like, "You got to be fucking kidding me! Like, this kid got like a 8 foot long
That shit.
aircraft carrier in
It's
his
probably
living
bigger
room."
than his bed, huh? That's
Right,
freaking.
and it's like, dude, like, which I think GI Joes are cool. I
Yeah.
just, when I come in here, like, I already have enough stupid shit. I just never got into GI Joe,
Yeah, I feel
but
you. There's properties that we pick and choose what we like. Like some people don't like Transformers or He Man or whatever Marvel, DC. Like there's guys
yeah,
that only collect There's guys that only collect, like for example, only DC or only Marvel or only Star Wars. There's
I
people like that.
envy those guys. I wish
Yeah,
I was one of those guys. Like I think
exactly.
those are
Because
the
then you could
guys that got
focus
it
your
figured out.
collection.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
doesn't
instead of
grow
us,
in weird directions. Like
yeah, our shit's like everything's mixed. Fortnite, fucking Marvel, Transformers, He Man,
yeah,
everything.
the shit is crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. And speaking of that, like we were talking about Masters of the Universe earlier, but did you see the new line that Mattel's doing? These are like 6 or 7 inch size figures
I did.
with more articulation. I have the photo on there.
I love it.
What do you think about them? Like, do they look pretty good or no?
I looked at these on Instagram, like on Toy Shiz's page or something, and
Yeah.
I think they look amazing. Like
Dang.
I am blown away. Which I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. Like I already have.
You're gonna get them, bro. I know
I
you're gonna
want to
get.
do it, like because I see that Moss man, and I'm like, oh, dude, with the branch arm, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
he has the branch
oh,
arm. Yeah.
and I'm just like,
I
dude,
feel like
like,
I need to see them in person. Like the photos, some of them, the photos look good, but then some don't. Like I really like that giant Skeletor guy that he has like all that armor and stuff. He's like a
right.
deluxe figure. He's huge.
See,
So I'm
when
interested
you
in
see
seeing them.
that, like the young, newish collector, you look at that picture and you're like, dude, those are dope. I need to pick
Yeah.
those up, and then you're gonna get them. Now, me as a seasoned vet, I look at that
Hmm.
and I'm going, okay, what's that gonna be in game? Like, what is
Yeah.
that gonna do? And I'm looking at that and I go, for one, that's wave one. They're not
Hmm.
gonna stop there. Those are gonna sell like
Hell no, they're not
crazy.
gonna stop
And
there.
I go, so I look at that and I'm like, that's gonna be $10,000 right there.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
going to
Yeah.
be
Over
real
time.
estate that I don't have.
Yeah.
So like when new shit comes up now, and I'm like, oh, I'd really like to come up on, I'd like to collect those, and I'm like, yeah, no, like the GI Joe, like it's like those are cool. I'd like to get those, but what's GI Joe at the end of like how much real estate is that going to take in my toy room? And like what's the end? Because I don't want to collect Series One and Series Two. I want to collect Series One through 50, like Marvel
Hmm.
Legends, like. And so I see that those are amazing, and I saw that, and I was like, part of me was like a little bitter because I'm like, great, no, I'm never going to sell my Masters of the Universe collection because
Hmm.
people are going to see that and they're going to be like, well, I don't need to buy the old shit because I can buy the
Hmm.
new shit. But
Yeah.
granted, it doesn't really have the same feel as the old shit. Like they did that set. I don't know what it is, but there's the set right before that big set I got, and like first they like remade the original card, which I have all those, and then they remade it for like that new animated series. Remember they did like 3 or 4 sets. They did like all the classic characters, and they kind of have a weird style. Do you know what I'm talking about? Let me
I think so.
grab one.
Yeah.
There's one right here. Come right. I'm just walking around.
All right. I can still hear you good because your headphones are like
Oh,
wireless.
okay.
So yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then we'll go and we'll do the tour. But I actually really like these. I mean, the articulation was shit, which
Are you
everybody
talking about
complains.
the 2000 He-Man ones? Is that
Yeah,
what they're called? Yeah, I know which ones you mean. Yeah.
these ones.
Yeah.
So when they made these, I was like super stoked, and I bought like every one, and they did
Yeah.
all the key characters. And I was like, dude, this is perfect. Like these things are awesome. And then I got this, and then the Mattel started like doing the whole thing over again. And I was like, well, I won't buy the characters that I just bought. I'll just buy new characters. And then
Yeah.
and so I would pass on like certain figures that I already had, and then I got addicted, and then I was an idiot on eBay spending $100 for carry like crawl floors or ones that I just passed on because I had a
Yeah.
previous version of them. But
Hmm.
then I did a little backtrack and I got all of them. But I don't
That's
know. So
crazy,
I
dude.
see that, and I absolutely love those toys. Like, I mean, we knew that when Mattel was getting the license back, it was just going to start all up again. And then they did the
Yeah.
little 5 points of articulation ones that everybody's going crazy over, which I
Hmm.
absolutely hate. And I
Hmm.
was like, oh, well, maybe that'll be it. And then they did this with it. And then the new cartoon, which I think Masters of the Universe is unbelievably stupid. The cartoon is horrible.
Yeah.
And then I saw the new trailer for the new cartoon, and I was like, oh my god, that looks really good.
Yeah. Kevin.
Or the
I think Kevin Smith
pictures.
is writing it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's and this
I'm
is.
like I think I got into Masters of the Universe at the wrong time because I see this and I'm like, oh man, that's the shit that I really wish I would have got. Just
Yeah.
seeing that Moss man and that God, that Moss Man is amazing. Like that is like
Yeah, I really
that
like
one
that
is
Moss Man.
yeah. I mean
Yeah,
the whole thing that they did a branch arm, you're just like, dude,
yeah,
that's
that's a
good.
cool effect piece right there.
And the cartoon looks good. Like when I see that with that new cartoon, and I'm like, what the fuck is Marvel doing? Like they're making like, some of the movies are amazing, some of the movies are shit. But why can't you
Yeah, yeah,
redo like the '70s like or the '80s X-Men cartoon? Like redo that. Like make like if they're gonna do a Masters of the Universe cartoon, when the majority of the people don't give a shit about Masters of the Universe, could you imagine if they like redid like the animated series? Like when we get the Marvel Legends and it's like the classic, like the figures like that Jubilee or whatever came out, and we are
yeah,
like,
yeah.
holy shit, they finally did her. Like
Hmm.
remake those cartoons, like that would definitely take up a good portion of my time, right? Watching that shit.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, but like these new figures, these new Masters of the Universe figures, they don't even have pins, bro. Like they're seamless.
I saw
Even
that.
yeah, so
They're
they look so clean. Like it
but
looks
they're
like they
Mattel. Like Mattel
yeah,
started pinless. Like they started that shit, and then
yeah,
like granted, you had like the premium action figures like Mayfex or whatever doing pinless. Like Mattel was the first people to start the pinless shit, and I was like,
hmm
that's like when I had to drag Dwight in the mud to show him that shit and be like, dude, these guys are doing it. You can't do it. And
yeah,
those
yeah,
figures look just amazing. Like I'm really impressed with those, and it's Mattel. And they're
yeah.
probably if they don't, do you know how they're releasing them? Are they going to stores? Or are they going to be like fan shit?
No, it's going retail because
Oh, so then they'll be
Mattel.
$20 each.
Yeah, when Mattel took back their property from Super Seven, like you
Right,
said, they wanted to do that because they're trying to make a push to make Masters big again. So there's
right.
actually two cartoons that are coming out. This is one of
Wow.
them, and this is based off of the Kevin Smith uh, series that he's making, which is called Revelations.
Right.
And then there's a kid version that's gonna have different toys, and it's gonna be a different cartoon for kids.
And they're
And
still
I
going to
think
do
it's,
the 5 points of articulation line. They're going to be
yeah, I
three
think so.
lines.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're just trying to see if something can be a hit, so they can keep making figures. Because if the show comes out and it's not received well, I don't think the figures are going to continue either. They're going to go on to something else. But they're
Yeah.
basically just trying to make Masters big again and relevant. That's like back in the day, they had to make the cartoons to sell toys. It's kind of like
Right.
we're going back to that, where they have to make a
You,
cool show
you
to
think
make
the
people want
kids
it.
today are going to give a shit about Masters of the Universe? Because I know my
I
kids
really
don't.
don't. But they're trying to make one for the kids. This is for the adult collectors. This show, but they're
Right.
making a kids one as well. So we'll see if it comes out. I think they're both going to be on Netflix, so it's going to be easy to watch it when it comes out.
Yeah, I saw this was going to be on Netflix, and I was like, you know what? I think I might actually watch that. Like that looks like He-Man. If you watch the old cartoons, they're hard to watch, bro. Like they're
Yeah, it's
really
so
bad.
corny
Like
and cheesy.
I've tried to revisit them a couple times, and I'm like, I can't get into it. Like they're just too much. When he
Yeah,
raised it up, like He-Man and the Thunder, and you're like, dude, this is painfully bad. But when they redid that, like what was the 2000 He-Man or whatever, like this one, like that
yeah,
cartoon, I thought was decent.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
was
I have one of my friends that I tell you that he runs to through the toy aisles. He's a
right.
huge Masters of the Universe
Say
fan.
his name, for he knows when he watches this who you're talking
Yeah, he
about.
knows who he is. But yeah, Power Punch
No,
Toys.
Liz.
That's his name.
Okay, all right, put
Yeah,
it out
Power
there.
Punch Toys.
Because you were
Yeah,
the dude that runs the toy aisle. Just to know that we
yeah.
know who you are.
Yeah, that dude has an insane love for this, and he has an insane collection. I've been to his house and everything, but he's redoing his toy room, so hopefully I can record it and maybe make a video. But
Okay.
yeah, he's a really cool dude, and he has like a lot of the Masters Universe classics like you do, and he bought that fucking $700 mountain as well.
Right.
So
Right.
so yeah, the dude has a lot of Masters of the Universe love, and a lot of the old collectors, they don't really like this new style, but they don't understand that it's based off of the new show, and
Right.
this is just the beginning, so they're gonna probably keep it going. We'll see what happens.
With me, because I'm not a hardcore Master of the Universe guy, I don't
Hmm.
like the style that I collected. I
Hmm.
like the style that you're showing me right now. That is
Yeah.
what I like. I like the pinless action figure.
Hmm.
That I see that and I'm like, I wish that I wouldn't have any, because if I didn't have any of my shit, I would
Hmm.
buy that shit. And I'd be like, well, this is the shit that I really wanted. Like that to me looks really fun to collect. Like I could really, if they weren't impossible to come by, if they weren't like, if they were like GI Joe,
Hmm.
that's not fun to collect. Like that's just
Yeah,
a
it's not.
headache. That's stressful. Like I want to enjoy collecting. I want to be able to go
Yeah.
to Target. I don't mind going there early. I don't mind being the first one there, but I don't want to, have it so in demand that all the employees are scalping this shit. Which, like, I think
Yeah.
is, I mean, I'm not mad at him for doing it, but it's just collecting shouldn't be that hard. Like a lot
Yeah.
of times with these exclusives, like we're working way too hard, and then it
Hmm.
creates it because I'm not always fortunate enough to find it in the store, and like I,
Hmm.
I always try to get a deal on my shit. Like you showed me all that shit. Like I got it for $5. I've never seen an action figure for $5 in Vegas. Maybe
Yeah,
where
dude.
you're at, like it's a little bit. I don't know. My shit. We could go to Target right now, and the shelves are empty. Like there's nothing on the
Yeah,
shelves.
straight up. No, that's how it is here. But the reason why some of these were cheap is because you already know that Walmart's distribution and Target's distribution is horrible. So like sometimes they never put stuff out on the shelf, and it ends up at Ross or Five Below. And action figures there are really cheap. I literally got a figure from a store called Didi's Discounts. I don't know if you have that out there in Vegas. It's
Beauty
called Didi's.
discount?
No, Didi's Discounts. It's literally like
No,
Ross. It's like Ross, but like a cheaper version.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, look, let me show you the price. That's why I leave these up here because it shows me like, damn, I really got that figure for like $1.50 or something.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you a price tag on one of them. I turned off my camera, but I'm gonna turn it on right now. Hold on. Like this figure is ass, right? This Sharon Carter. Wait, there we go.
Right.
This Sharon Carter is ass, but look at how much the price was on this thing. Let me see if I can get it. Hold on. Can you kind of see that?
$4.99.
No, look at the other price tag.
It's hard to see.
99 cents, dude.
Holy shit.
Let me flip it around so people can see a better. Like this to me is like action figure history or something.
That's crazy.
99 cents.
Like they
You,
can't
you,
even make the package for that. Like how do they sell that for
oh my
that?
god. Yeah. So you see why I keep some of these on the wall. It kind of like reminds me like, damn, I got that for like $3, $5. Um, but yeah, it's like literally I have a Red Guardian figure. That thing went up in price because they're completing that team.
Right.
And I
Of
paid literally,
course.
you couldn't even sell that thing for $5 like 2 years back,
He's
and
gonna
now
be
I
like
think
a,
it's worth
a
like
hundred
50 bucks.
bucks. Yeah, is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
50? Yeah, now that
yeah,
they're making the team, like that thing's gonna go through the roof, dude. That thing's gonna be crazy expensive. And then right after everybody buys one, they're probably gonna re-release it to just completely piss everybody off.
yeah, dude. Like this, like a lot of these figures, like man, they just go on clearance in random Targets or WalMarts, and you just come up on them. Like it's random though, because if you go, there's nothing on the shelves. But
Right.
nowadays, like not even the peg warmers are peg warmers no more. Like there's really no peg warmers anymore. Everything
Well,
sells out, even for Legends.
I'll see like people post on Instagram like, "Hey, found this at Ross or this or that," and then I'll go there and I'm like, "Yeah, no, nothing here." Like I don't know how these people find this shit, and I'm like, "Yeah, no deals here." I remember when
Yeah,
they
it's
had
it's
that.
hard to find them, dude.
I'm friends with Ty that works at McFarland.
Uh,
Only because he rides dirt bikes. I basically saw him at Toy Fair, and he recognized me, and he's like, "Holy shit, you're Chalker Art and whatever," because like I'm world famous.
yeah,
And then he's like, "Oh, you ride dirt bikes?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he rides dirt bikes, and he's actually really good. He came here, he stayed at my house for a weekend, and we went and rode, and it was super fun. And
that's
then
cool, man.
he goes, "Let me hook you up with the lady that gives out free toys." And I was like, "Oh, sure, let's do this," because
Hmm.
I never really wanted to be that guy that got free toys because I always make fun of all those people that get free toys.
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
goes, "Oh, this is her," and she goes, "Give me your address." And she started mailing me free toys, and then she's like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "Oh, basically just DC and Spawn shit." And she's like, "Well, like." If you review that, then you got to review like Fortnite and other stupid shit too. And I was like,
yeah,
okay. So they gave me a few Fortnite, which I think they're great. Like they're
yeah.
good toys. It's just stuff I'm not interested in. But I don't think
It's
they didn't like my reviews, and then so they quit. And it's like, dude, how long did you think that was gonna last for? Like, I'm lucky that they sent me 2 boxes because
yeah, yeah,
I beat the shit up so bad. I was like, dude. like I'm not gonna sell out to the free figure. Like I'm still gonna talk shit about you personally, your
Yeah,
toys and everything else, just because it's fun. And I just don't want to be that guy. I've got hit up a few times in the comments of people like doing YouTube channels, and they're like, "What should I do different?" or "What should I do? I'm going to start a YouTube channel." I go, "Just be different." I go, "There's so
yeah,
many people doing it, and I on a lot of these channels, I can't tell which channel I'm watching because all I ever see is their hands and them talking about some stupid action figure.
yeah.
Like at some point, tell me what you did this weekend or do something a little bit different."
Yeah. I understand that. Yeah, there's a lot of competition, and everyone's trying to do the same thing. And some
Yeah,
people are paying a premium just to get figures early to get the views.
I see
Um,
that too, which is
yeah,
if that's working out for you, great. But I usually try to wait for a clearance before I get my shit. Like I see your deals and I'm jealous. I'm like, oh my god, I paid $20 for that. He just spent 99 cents on that. Like it makes me feel like a dick because I wasted my money. And I'm like, oh
yeah,
god, like I already feel bad at how much I spend on stuff. And then I see your deals and I'm like, oh my god, that's horrible. I've been in this house for 16 years, and then I think I've cleaned the shelves like two or three times. Like sometimes, like if I reorganize the shelf, I'll kind of clean that shelf. But to do like, because right now I'm trying to do like a complete makeover of the room, like because
hmm
I just moved a lot of shit to the top section, shit that I should probably try selling because I'm not real interested in it anymore. And
hmm
so I'm just trying to make rooms for collection. Like I just redid my whole Masters of the Universe collection, got that kind of spaced out. I had to make room for that Snake Mountain. Like that was God, that thing is it's massive.
yeah.
But it
I was playing
yeah, like
around with my homies Snake Mountain too, but I feel like it's too small for the Universe Classics figures. Like when you put them
oh
on
you
there, they look
do?
too big. Yeah, they look too big. They kind of scale better with these crappy little 5 points articulation ones.
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree too. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean I
That's
got
what I
like
told
one
him, but he
figure
doesn't.
on
He
it.
doesn't care. He's like, oh, those, because he would always be like, I don't want to collect those Origins figures, those little 5 points ones. He's like, I
Right.
already have these. They look better. And now the guy is buying them. So I'm like, see, I made you get into them. So he's buying them all over again, even though he already has better figures.
And those things are like $15 each, aren't they?
Yeah, they're $15 each. Yeah,
Yeah, so even those like they look cheap, but the price tag isn't cheap.
yeah. I just
Like
like
I
them
got
because
the
I never had anything He-Man growing up, and I feel like they look like decent enough, and it reminds me of like that old retro style, because that's
do
the
you
goal
have
with them.
a
They're
relation to the show?
not really. I just like the toys, and I know the characters just from like reading the back of the packaging, or there's little comic books
Yeah.
that come with them, and it explains like who they are or what their purpose is, things like that. But
Yeah,
I
I kind
like
of
that old
grew
school
up with the
style.
show, and it just I don't know, like, because when I'll do videos, and I'm like, I don't understand why people like Masters of the Universe because the cartoon was never good, the movie wasn't good, and I don't understand how it turned into a thing that people collect. I mean, granted, I collected it too. It just it just never I don't know. I never understood it. Like Marvel was always kind of cool, and like I get collecting that, and like Star Wars was always kind of cool, and I get collecting that. But then Master of the Universe is definitely its own weird following on that one.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. I don't even know how it got as big as it did, because like you said, like a lot of the stuff is not popular. Even Mattel gave up on their line because they let Super Seven use it because they didn't know what
Right.
to do with it anymore.
Well, when Mattel had it, man, that everything was mail order only. You had to like pre-order everything, or it would sell. It was like the first like it started all that shit with the pre-orders and all that. And then after you got them on your doorstep, after tax and shipping, they're basically $40 each for like. And the action figures aren't really even that good. And like at the time, $40 each was unheard of. Like it was like I don't even think Marvel Legends were $20 back then. Like I think they might have been less than that. And I don't know, man. I just God that thing. The price tag is crazy on them.
Yeah, that they were pretty expensive on those Masters of the Universe, and they all use like the same body molds too. They just add new stuff
Right.
to it.
They're
Yeah,
doing what Marvel Legends doing now. They just add like a different skirt or a cuff or something.
yeah,
Which I mean, you expect Masters of the Universe to do that because that's what they did on all their original shit. So you kind of
exactly.
expected them to do it, but then I don't know, for $40 each, you definitely expect a lot more. That's for sure. Like, I don't really feel like when I would get them, I'd be like, God damn, 40 every time. It'd be like 40. It's like $38. Like, I just spent $38 on this thing. Like, and it was crazy because you get like a Marvel Legends and they're like $20, and I kind of felt like that was a better action figure at the time.
Yeah, man. Like it's hard to explain sometimes how something gets popular.
Yeah,
Like, like Pokemon cards was kind of like dead for a while,
yeah,
but all of a sudden, there's a lot of famous people that got into it on YouTube,
right.
like big YouTubers and celebrities, and it blew up again. So now it became a problem. But yeah, everything runs its course and changes. That it's crazy how the collecting game is now.
That dude, you ever seen that show Pawn Stars
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Vegas? That dude
The old guy
Chum.
with all the Charizards, he went in there.
Right. That dude
Yeah.
Chum would come to my house and we have a poker game in my house like once a month or whenever. And then he came to my house a couple times and I showed him the action figure collection.
Oh
I
no,
was
wait.
like,
So the Pawn Stars guys have been in your room?
just Chum. And
Oh,
then
just chum.
like he is super into Pokemon. Like he would come over and he'd have like his little like his watch bracelet on or whatever it was, his Pokemon bracelet on, and then collecting the cards, and he'd have like two phones where he could play like Pokemon Go, like, and I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah, he's
I
like
was
the
like,
nerdy one of them. Like he was kind of like a
yeah,
nerd.
he's
Yeah.
super. He's one of those dudes. Like he's like because the whole reason why the Pokemon guy came there is because Chump probably got a hold of him. Was like, hey, come, because all that shit staged. Like that dude wasn't planning on selling the
Yeah,
card.
yeah.
But so, anyways, like, because I was like, oh, if you want to do a show, I could pretend like I want to sell my action figure collection. But he said, yeah, maybe, but we never did it. But I thought that would have been cool just to get on Pawn Stars because I think the show is pretty cool. And plus, I think
Yeah,
it's
dude,
weird
you
that,
could have been on their house pretending that you wanted to sell your
yeah,
shit.
I'm gonna sell it because they have the dude that trying to sell his Transformer collection. It's like, bro, I can tell that you don't want to sell your shit because you want
Yeah,
like full retail for it. Like,
yeah, yeah.
obviously, you guys know you're not going to come to agreement on that. So,
Yeah, when you go in there, they're gonna be like, this is a great collection, but we got to bring in someone, so a professional to
yeah,
evaluate it. And
that that's that toy dude. He has a toy stop, toy store downtown.
yeah, they're
Like,
gonna call that guy. He's gonna go over there and
yeah,
lowball the fuck out of your
and be like,
collection.
I don't know about all this. Like, I,
yeah,
I don't care if you spend $250,000 on it. I'll give you, like $3,000. And I'm like, I
yeah,
don't know about that.
yeah. Yeah, man.
But his store is super expensive. You go to his shit, and it's like on downtown Fremont. He's got a nice store. He's
Yeah,
got a
I think I've
ton of
seen
shit
someone that made
there.
a video that they went there. I forgot who it was though.
And Big
Uh,
Dub came over and hung out. We went there. I think he might have done a little bit of a
Maybe,
video.
yeah, I saw it probably on his. But yeah, man, it was super dope having you on here. We've been going for almost like 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Went
we could do
quick.
other episodes, man. You could be a regular on the show. I would love to have you on the show or whatever, if this ever becomes anything. But I'm gonna put this up on YouTube and see what people think.
All right, man. Let me know. Hit me up.
For sure, man. I appreciate you coming on and talking toys with me. And I don't think you ever told anybody that you hanged out with someone from Pawn Stars. That's fucking cool. Like
Yeah.
now you live up to the famous celebrity name, bro. Like you've been
Yeah. I don't
hanging
know
out with
about.
celebrities.
I don't know about that.
And
But
then like freaking Falcon, like a lot of people, man. Toy Shiz, he's like a superstar in like Instagram right
Toy
now.
Shiz is a superstar. He's the only one
Yeah.
there. Everybody else is like mediocre.
I mean, yeah, well,
All right,
thank
bro.
you, man,
Let's
for
stay
coming on
up.
here.
Hit me up whenever.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Thank you for coming on.
Later.